Um, Hercules was to land a critical attack. You basically have a chance of getting plus 150 additional rage while in Sylph mode with him. So he is a must to have. So that passive is a must. Razor combined with Unstoppable Voltage. Unstoppable Voltage is basically you on freaking cocaine dash steroids as you're getting hit for damage nonstop. So Hercules is pretty much the grand example of what you'd want to be like as like a glass cannon setup with him. Especially if with the cores he has socketed and Resilience Frenzy, you want to have because crit damage increases so much, and the more crit damage he deals, that's the percentage amount it also increases by. So critical, of course, is double damage. So if I'm hitting you for 220 normally, and that's like 440,000 damage plus 16% more added on to that, you are going to be in a heap of trouble. Of course, Buzz Supreme, that also increases the crit chance. So in critical mode, and of course, you want the criticals to go off when you're using Hercules because that's the main point. Hercules is meant to kill you quick and fast, and if he manages to do that, well then, enough said. And then Buzz Doom, of course, you want to increase his magic attack. And like I said, Hercules is more of a glass cannon Sylph, and if you're really willing and ready to gung-ho everybody and just like, here's my Hercules, would you like to die quickly or would you like to kill me very, very quickly and make me look stupid? So, again, Electro Sylph, it's just very straightforward. It's all nothing but damage. And it's all damage and barely any defenses. As you guys can kind of see, his physical defense sucks. Magic defense is decent. And his magic attack is like uncomparable to anything else aside from Hecate, because Hecate is like, well, the god of physical attack, and Hercules is the god of magic attack. So, the more you think about it, these are the two Sylphs you want to use the most, but the thing is, though, with Hercules, it is very good to use when you're 70s or 50s when it's Eve, but it's too much used, it gets annoying to deal with, so just knowing how to fight against a glass cannon is very hard, which is also why I went with my Medusa, as you guys basically can see. Of course, stacked set skills for everything. Spirit of Wind, your block is decreased for your opponent by 10% for 2 rounds, so they have no chance of blocking against your hits if it lands. So that's also a plus, especially when you fight knights, because when you fight knights, they rely on that block to get their heals off and their deflects off. So Spirit of Wind is a must, and then of course Master of Wind, the critical attacks and your block increases by 10%. So your block is increasing for 10% for every such and such rounds. So 2-3 rounds at a time, your blocking rate increases by 10%. So that's a definite must to have. 50 minutes. And then Breath of Shield, basically 35% chance every round to reduce damage by 10%. So you're basically getting 10% additional damage reduced for you for such and such time. And then you also have Master of Wind to where you are increasing your block rate by 10%, which means having the damage. So that's also a must. And Aquilian's Blessing is also a must. Steel Rage, it is a must. Wind's Grace, it's a decent, but you can switch it out for something, but it also decreases the enemy defenses by 50 points for 3 rounds. So it might just be 50 points, but that 50 points can do a whole lot, especially if you know how to use Medusa, which you guys have seen my videos. Medusa is goddess. Medusa is bae. Medusa, holy crap, if I could, I'd marry Medusa. She's also, I think, hot in my opinion. Well, she honestly makes Athena look bad. And, well, that says a whole freaking lot. Especially when she turns into the goddess of prosperity, or as I call her, Aphrodite. She is, yeah, she's actually pretty smoking. If people want to fire shots at me because I said Medusa's pretty hot, yeah, I have a crush on myself. Screw you, it's a game, man. I'm allowed to have my imagination. We are allowed to have our imaginations. Ha! So, anywho, yeah, she can stone me any day. Ah! Yeah, that's gonna be thrown out the window real quick and made jokes of. And then you have upliaded Slammet, which is also very much needed, especially when if you main Pan, which I did, and I dethroned a whole lot of Hercules with him, and so many people got mad. And this is also a must skill to have. Of course, 210% plus 270 physical wind damage to the enemy with the lowest health percentage. So you always usually want to end that out, especially if the Delphic don't end the shot if they have very little health remaining. Of course, just smack them around with upliaded Slammet, and it does wonders. It does absolute wonders, to the point where, well, nobody ever wants to mess with you. So of course, his defense, or her defenses, why did I say he? Her defenses are amazing still. 30,000 in physical defense and like 20,000 magic defense. But also, she's the only one that has the highest resist towards electro users, which of course is a must. And water resist is really weak, but water sylphs you never see. And like I showed you guys, water and light sylphs are not the best attackers, so no one ever mains them except for Mr. Strife, so he might want to reconsider. Just, Nyx, if you're watching this, I know you're gonna watch this, please reconsider that Apollo, and I hope you've not invested every single freaking core into that Apollo, because if you did, oh buddy, you are really gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer unless you want to prove to be an underdog like me and main an underdog or underrated Sylph to where people badmouthed and of course made a joke out of, to the where, oh, you want to call this a joke? The joke just screwed you, buddy. The joke got literal to where it actually dethroned top dogs. This Medusa, you've all have seen in my past videos, Pan Medusa has dethroned many Hercules, many Hecates dash Gaias, well, I couldn't say Hecate, many Gaias, many Cerebus, many other 80 Sylphs, and so forth. My Medusa had rarely any rival comparison. That is how strong I made her. But as you guys can see, I took all her cores off and I put them to Loki because Loki's now mained. And right now I still have Buzz Sunder equipped until I can get a few more. I'm not destroying that, because if I were to do that, I would only be getting back 5 cores, and that's just going to make it into a level 3, and I don't want it as a level 3. I'd want it at least as a level 4 or higher. And of course, Disruption Steel. The higher this goes, you're basically stealing more raise. So right now you're stealing 500 base, and then with this you're adding on, so that's 620 rage you'd be stealing from the opposing player, and that would be adding on to you to use. So, when you think about it, Medusa is the best Sylph, in my opinion, as a physical base. If you want to keep it extremely tanky and surviving long enough, like I have, again, as you guys have seen in my videos. Medusa is goddess, Medusa is bae. Holy crap, I'd marry her if I could. Yeah, literally, I would marry Medusa, believe it or not. That tells you how freaking cynical and psychotic I can be a little bit. But then again, Joker was no exception either. He made it to a point. You don't mess with the psychos. But anywho, but yeah, this has been my whole intake. As you guys can see, Arcane is also good for, also I'm just going to be explaining this. Arcane is also good to use with, Hercules. And of course, battery power is at 15%. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up as quick as I can. The Notion, Arcane, and Frenzy Resilience is the only 2 best advanced god cores you want to use in Hercules, because the higher your magic, your basically piercing damage, and of course increases critical percentage, damage percentage. So of course, Frenzy is your best friend. Sharpness is honestly, I mean, sharpness, not astrals, but god cores are decent, but they're not the best. So anyone, just in my opinion, I would not main those, and especially Conceited or Resilience. Conceited is chance to bypass all defense on hit, so that's not always a guarantee. So I would not use Resilience, Conceited, or Bloodlust. Bloodlust just basically effect weaken enemy damage reduction based on the increase. So again, it's also a chance. So you don't want to use Bloodlust or Conceited. Those two are completely irrelevant. And Mirage Agile, of course, you want to decrease, of course, the damage. And then you also have Mirage Shackle, which also expands floating damage, but that is basically like Enhanced Ruthlessness, and that Astral is completely irrelevant and garbage. Nobody uses it. So don't use Mirage Shackle. Do not use it. If you do, you're probably going to get jack slapped and realize, why am I not dealing as much damage? Oh, because it's freaking random. It has a chance to increase your damage or really weaken your really powerful hits. And if you actually test out using Enhanced Ruthlessness, you guys are going to notice a very, very big difference in your damage that you are dealing and not dealing. So if you guys don't believe me, tinker with it, experiment with it, and you're going to learn, holy crap, he was actually telling the truth. Ah! Yeah, I do know a few things. I'm not a pro player for nothing. Well, technically, old school pro until I decide to go class advanced. Then we can say I'm the master pro. I am still, well, rising in the pro leagues, but as you guys kind of know already, no one touches me in 70s right now with Loki, and I'm still yet to make another BG video, and if that's the case, hopefully here soon I will be able to make another, a few BG videos for you guys to see I get all 20 kills, which would be freaking amazing, and, showing you guys just how powerful Puri really has gotten. I've actually got to take one of the bow people, for Angel, or for Ngel, or Angel, as we call him, or her. I'm not sure which kind of person he is. I'm not that concerned. The gender does not matter to me anymore. You can be a he, she, it. I don't care. I see you as a person. I don't see you as anything less or anything better, anything whatever. So you're okay in my book. If you're a person, you're okay in my book. If you're an animal, you're okay in my book. If you're an alien, you're okay in my book. And no, I'm not firing shots at the Mexicans, so screw off. I mean the little green people from the frickin' planet Mars. But yeah, I don't care what you are. As long as you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. And if you want to be a complete douche schnozzle, then get off my back and get off my server, or Council will hound you. And trust me, we will see sure you get off the server if you start hounding me and other people. But anywho, but yeah, Mirage Exquisite, again, that is a must, and especially for the healing. Mirage Hermit, it's okay, but not the best either. Chance to receive critical strikes reduced by 1%, so yeah, don't use it. It's kind of like Enhanced Illusion, so it's all chance-based. So, wait, what? Level 15? Oh, well, 15% chance. But I still wouldn't do it, because that's like a 1 out of like 6 or 7 chance of getting hit every time with a critical hit. So that's honestly not the best to use either. So all the others, honestly, don't go for, other than for like Disruption Shatter, Disruption Steal, Backfire. Oh yeah, you guys already know what that is. Disconnect, Perseverance. All the disruption skills are really good as long as you know what you're doing and how you're building the Sylph as well. But if you don't want to use those certain skills to where those cores support that particular skill you have put in yourself, then don't use them. And then just don't waste up your space is basically what I'm telling you. Sharpness, it's iffy, but honestly, the best ones you want to go for is Notion, Arcane, Heartseeker, and Eternal, and No Voice, or Novice. So those are the main 4 you always want to circle around. Eternal Notion is the must, especially if you're using Medusa, like I showed. Iris, Gaia, Cerebus, and I guess you could probably use that on Athena, but then again, as I said, Light is probably the weakest link out of all the Sylphs when you think about it, because it's honestly not the best. Even as Venus, it's really not that threatening, so it doesn't really worry me or concern me at all, especially in the Sylph arena, considering I can dethrone Venuses without even trying. So anywho, but yeah, thank you everybody for watching this video. This was the special Sylph in-depth talk with you all I wanted to share and display to you all. And, Yeah, I'm kind of stalking server chat right now. Oh, she said I suck, but that's Bree, by the way. Annie's cool. She's a pretty chill chick. But anywho, no one called me Guild Chat. That's surprising. Holy crap, this was actually an hour long. But anywho, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. Was this video any good? Was it not? Was it informative enough? Was it not informative enough? Was there anything I left out that I should have put in? Is there anything else extra I should add into the next video if I am to do another in-depth talk on Sylphs or whatnot? But anywho, you guys now know the pros and cons of each of the Sylphs and what cores to use and what not to use. So, good luck, Godspeed, be whatever country, person of the world you're in, and eat a daggone steak, because steak is life. And if you're ever a vegetarian, I feel so freaking bad for you. But anywho, no harm meant. I was just making a joke. But thank you guys for watching, and until the next video, you guys are gonna have a lot to catch up on, especially since this is like kind of like a couple hours. Well, yeah, basically 2 hours worth. This was a full hour, and the other two were like 20-30 minutes apart each. So again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to share this around with the other Wartune communities that you're with, Wartune groups that you're with, and the Wartune friends that you know that also play this. Again, I am needing help getting subscribers, and if you guys are willing to help me out, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So anywho, figure of speech. Help me out, I help you out. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Hidden Angel Lionheart, aka Purifier 880,000 BR, God Mage of Server 91 US East, and still remaining the only top American 70s mage player to be topping the game right now. So, without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and adios until the next video. Thank you, and good night and morning. Auga! ¡Hola, Chino!